Good day, Dr. Ruckel here. Today's YouTube video is going to be on the subject of edema. If you would please do me a favor and like, subscribe, and share this with others so we can spread the word of health and well-being. Thank you. So edema is also known as fluid retention and is swelling caused by fluid buildup in the body's tissues. Typically affects the legs and feet, but can manifest as weight gain, puffy eyes in the morning, and shoes feeling tight at the end of the day. There's a variety of conditions that can lead to this, and we're going to explore some of those. First thing we want to look at is thyroid conditions. So hypothyroidism, or underactive thyroid, was originally referred to as myxedema or myxedema. The MYX meaning mucus or slimy substance, and edema meaning swelling. We commonly refer to swelling of the legs, feet, arms, or hands as peripheral edema. So hypothyroidism causes a rapid accumulation of mucin, which causes swelling, stiffness, weakness, and pain. This swelling may occur in the legs and feet, arms and hands, belly, or face. It results in thick, rubbery skin that you can't pinch and lift like normal skin. Symptoms associated with this are low basal metabolism or temperature. Think of it like your burn rate in the body has been reduced. A normal temperature upon awakening is 97.8 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a test out there called the basal Barn test. It was brought about by Dr. Barnes. And what you do is you have a thermometer sitting by your bedside. I've heard that a lot of times a traditional mercury thermometer might give you a better reading. And upon first getting up in the morning, before even getting out of bed, you want to shake it down, insert it under the tongue, and remove after about 3 minutes. So if your temperature consistently comes up less than 97.8 degrees Fahrenheit, you could be suffering from hypothyroidism, even if your blood readings might indicate otherwise. So other symptoms associated with hypothyroidism are reduced blood circulation or cold extremities and poor kidney function. So some of the solutions to this are to increase one's iodine or seaweed in the diet. So there are various iodine receptors in the body, and one of the areas that's most targeted for iodine is the thyroid. So in the Midwest, this was called the region where people could suffer from lack of iodine because they weren't getting fresh seafood or seaweed in their diets. And so they started to iodize salt to help prevent either a form of mental retardation called cretinism or hypothyroidism, where the gland swells or enlarges secondary to a lack of iodine. The body will increase the organ size to try and increase the blood circulatory system and get more of the nutrient that it's lacking in. So the Japanese diet, traditionally, they will consume 6 to 7 types of seaweed over there. I've been there in the early 90s and saw it for myself. So sources of getting seaweed into the diet that we'll utilize could be sushi or could be miso soup with seaweed. There's also a supplement out there, MediHerb Thyroid Complex. And this is a combination of bladderwrack, ashwagandha, and bacopa. The bladderwrack itself is a seaweed. Ashwagandha is a adaptogenic herb that has multiple functions for the body, and bacopa, also above and beyond being support for thyroid, can help with long-term memory. So Carrie Bone, the founder of MediHerb, talks about this helping to jumpstart the metabolism, assist in weight loss. So it can further assist with low body temperature, fatigue, cold extremities. I put my wife on this daily. Next organ we want to look at that can be involved with edema is the heart or cardiovascular system. Think of it like poor pumping action taking place. One of my favorite herbs for this is MediHerb Hawthorn. I don't have it to show to you right now because I'm out of it. In Germany, they call this the nurse of the elderly heart. So it assists in the maintenance of peripheral circulation. Additionally, look to get food-based vitamin C in the form of citrus fruits in your diet to help strengthen the arterial and venous systems. So back in the day, Captain Cook was a British captain, and under the threat of the lash or the whip, he said everyone is going to get a ration of lime juice. And when they started to consume this on a regular basis, scurvy no longer became an issue. Hence, British soldiers or sailors became known as limeys. So this is food-based vitamin C, not synthetic ascorbic acid. So scurvy was death secondary to internal bleeding due to lack of fresh fruits and vegetables because they would go on long sails subject to the wind and they didn't have access. Further thing to look at is including sea salt versus land salt. So land salt, typically the salt is derived from mines. It's dirty in the process of digging it out, so they use bleaching agents, free-flowing agents, anti-cake agents, and they strip the minerals out, sell them to industries around them, leaving you primarily with just sodium chloride and not really the trace minerals that are intact in sea salt. So my two favorite forms of sea salt are one, either pink Himalayan or Celtic or Celtic salt. The reason I generally, at this point, like the pink Himalayan even better is because it is from salt deposits that are hundreds of millions of years old, typically out of Pakistan. This is before there were microplastics that started to work their way into the ocean. They say typically now we're getting about the credit card size of microplastic into our bodies on a regular basis. So anything we can do to reduce this toxic load into our body is a good idea. So with the trace minerals that are in sea salt, you're getting potassium, magnesium, further trace minerals. These can act as flushing agents, particularly the potassium. So further potassium flushing that I like is getting fruits and vegetables into the diet. And one way for this is smoothies. So you can make smoothies rich in fruits, and it will act like a flush for your body. You want to make sure you're getting quality water into your diet. I prefer reverse osmosis or spring water. RO is chemically pure water that takes out pesticides, herbicides, industrial chemicals, heavy metals. But my favorite is probably good spring water, which means filtered by the earth. I tend to drink either Fiji, Mountain Valley, that comes out of Arkansas, or Evian, which is a French-derived spring water. Remember, pharmaceuticals and drug-based diuretics can result in potassium being flushed out of the body. So a lot of times people who are on drug-based diuretics are taking additional potassium pills. So in my opinion, they're more treating the symptoms, not really getting down to the root cause of the edema. Another supplement that I like to utilize, it's called AC Carbamide. It's a standard process product. And carbamide improves the osmotic transfer of fluid through the cell walls. It's also great for edema, which can be secondary to too much fluid in the eye. There's another really good one called Vascular Care Complex. It's a MediHerb product. This is a combination of butcher's broom, horse chestnut, and ginkgo leaf. So it's great for restless leg syndrome, people get edema secondary to airplane flying. Works well for varicose veins and hemorrhoids. The ginkgo leaf is great for driving microcirculation, additionally to the brain, and helps with short-term memory. It's good to look at the kidneys and adrenals associated with this condition. Kidneys are your blood filters, your adrenals are your get-up-and-go glands. This is a supplement that works well from standard process called B6 niacinamide. And they talk in the literature about it being able to flush fluids out of the body. Edema of pregnancy, they talk about as much as 50 pounds of fluid being flushed out of women who are severely deficient in this. So other symptoms that can be associated with this are fatigue, which can be an adrenal symptom, carpal tunnel syndrome, where you get fluid buildup that can put pressure on the carpal nerve. Another thing to look at is parsley tea. So you can use dried or fresh parsley in my garden. It's December, and you can still get fresh parsley there. Cut it, put it in with boiling water, let it set, and strain it out and drink it. It's that simple. Acts as a toner for the kidneys and as a mild diuretic in a natural way that doesn't have the same symptoms as the medications, prescription medications would. Finally, I want to look at MediHerb's cranberry complex. This is a combination of cranberry, uva ursae, bucha, and Crotavia stem bark. So this is great for urinary tract infections. 3 out of the 4 herbs, the cranberry, uva ursae, and bucha leaf, act as diuretics. Another thing to keep in mind associated with urinary tract infections is you got to get the refined sugar and white flour out of the diet, because blood sugar imbalances will not allow proper healing of the urinary tract infections. The 4th herb in this formula, Crotavia stem bark, is great for bladder toning. Additionally, it's a good idea to get some walking in to move the body, get the circulation, the lymphatic system moving. So shoot for a minimum of 8,000 steps. You can have a Fitbit or an iPhone that can record this and give you feedback. Final thing to look at is utilization of a trampoline or a tiny little mini tramp. And just bouncing up and down on this will get circulation going, great for the lymphatic system. So hopefully this was helpful. I appreciate you listening and following, and more to come in 2025. Have a great day.